And there's so many people right now listening to us, Erwin, all around the world. Some of them don't have food, period. Some are in droughts. Some of them are in villages where they don't have good water. In our own country, here in the United States, there are some places where they don't have good water. And others are in hospitals or places where they're trying to be taken care of, but they're thirsty and they think nobody cares. I want them to realize that the Jesus we're talking about today knows what it's like to be thirsty. Further, being God and man, as God, he can see those people all over the world who are thirsty physically. But there's more to this phrase than just the physical thirst. What else does this tell us?
Well, it tells us that Jesus had a spiritual thirst. You think, for example, the fellowship that he had with the Father that we talked about in the last program. Now he was being forsaken by the Father, so there was a thirst for God, even as David indicated in the Old Testament, where he spoke about, as a deer pants after the water, so my soul pants after you, O God. So there is such a thing as a spiritual thirst. And today, we're talking to people who have experienced that. Physical thirst, yes. The Bible says that Jesus is the one who is our high priest, who has been touched with all of our infirmities, all of our temptations, though without sinning. But nonetheless, he's also talking about a spiritual thirst. Now, all of us are born thirsty. A baby is born thirsty. And throughout life, we all thirst. But the spiritual thirst is sometimes more intense. Augustine, one of the great philosophers and theologians of the church centuries ago, said, "O God, thou hast made us for thyself, and our hearts are restless until they find their all in thee." And that's what we're going to help people to understand in the next few moments, as to how they can participate and receive spiritual nourishment. Because we're talking to people who feel neglected, who feel broken down, they've been betrayed, they're going through times of great depression, agony, thoughts of suicide. And to people like that, we give hope through Jesus Christ, as we'll see in a few moments.
Yeah, people are trying to quench the thirst they have in their own life with all kinds of ways, just like you said, from drugs to sex, to money, to power, to all kinds of things. Jesus realizes the human condition. He suffered many of these things himself, but the fact that he's got an answer to the real, deep, spiritual thirst that we have. He's the only one that can fill it, and he was doing this by what he was doing on the cross.